It seems James Gunn is now panicking. Or is he? Just recently, I made a video on Warner Bros. Is probably going to be bought out by Saudi Arabia. When I heard that, it's going to be interesting.
For a while now, we've been hearing rumors swirling about who's going to buy Warner Brothers. Paramount made an offer really quickly. Then Netflix and Comcast expressed some interest here or there. And then the Saudi rumor came out. And
yes.
You weren't quite sure what was going to happen. You weren't quite sure how or why, like if this was going to be a real thing or not. Well, it has become a very, very real thing. Saudi Public Investment Fund emerges as surprise frontrunner in $57 billion Warner Brothers Discovery takeover battle. There's a couple separate reports about it. Definitely the Saudis are interested in one way. There are some conflicting reports as to whether they want to buy it outright or if Comcast might be going to them for some investment purchasing power. Maybe they might back Comcast's run for it, which would be interesting. The idea of Comcast Universal getting a hold of that with all the properties they have with the Harry Potter connection, all of that shit. But the Saudi thing obviously is really heated up, and it is real at this point.
Before we let them continue, let's think about a thing. What does the Saudi Arabia has? Evo, SNK, Electronic Arts, EA, which includes BioWare, aka Dragon Age and Mass Effect. So,
what are you doing now?
So the question is, here's the thing, I think if EA were to acquire Warner Bros., let's talk about what will remain. All we know is that Looney Tunes is okay, it will remain. Because, don't forget, that's Looney Tunes, alright?
Your mind will shatter like
So far,
glass.
the only thing I knew is, of course, the DC studios, the characters. Okay? Like, for example, the Dreamer, Naya Null. I don't know if they're going to keep it. Yes, that's the real thing I'm worried about. Or, I don't know if I should be worried. Because many LGBTQ community in those companies is going to be worried. Because assuming if the Saudi Arabia did manage to buy it, and also many of the LGBTQ employee, yes, the LGBTQ, they don't want it to happen. They don't want the Saudi Arabian to buy it. Okay, let me just get this thing out of the way.
There's no escape.
Okay. Sorry, better make this go away first. So what else besides the DC studio? Harry Potter. Oh wait, what about the transgender character in Hogwarts Legacy? I don't know if I don't know if that character is still gonna be remain. It is unclear.
Everything you see is under my control.
Yeah, it's unclear for now. I think if Saudi Arabia were to buy Saudi Arabia were to buy Warner Bros. And many LGBTQ people will be, well, they're probably gonna go on strike. They're probably going to wreck their own office for no good reason.
There's no escape.
Right. Let them go. Okay.
So many people reporting about it. Warner Brothers Discovery could change hands and see a new CEO before Christmas. The company's at the center of a high-stakes bidding war involving Comcast, Netflix, Paramount, and now potentially the Saudi Public Investment Fund. The latest reports suggest the PIF may be the surprise frontrunner in the $57 billion global media and entertainment takeover. On November 2025, Warner Brothers share price surged 4% to $23 following the news of the potential sale, highlighting investor optimism amid the bidding frenzy. Split plans on hold amid sale. Earlier this year, Warner Brothers announced its plan to split its operations, and we talked about all of that stuff. I want to actually get into the contenders in the bidding war. So Paramount offered their deal. They're still interested. Netflix plans to submit an initial bid on 20th November, but faces regulatory hurdles. Meanwhile, Comcast is interested, but may require a major partner. CEO Brian Roberts reportedly traveled to Saudi Arabia, possibly to explore partnerships. Industry sources suggest the Saudi PIF is keen on Warner Brothers Discovery, and a potential partnership with Comcast is being considered. And with all of that happening, of course, the one thing that people are interested in is the DC universe, James Gunn's DC universe. And
James Gunn.
It just will not go away.
Snyder cut.
The idea that the Snyderverse could be reinstated. And one of the reasons is because of the likes that Zack Snyder has had on Instagram, some of the things he's been posting, but also the Saudi connection. And, you know, you saw this. If playing chestnut checkers was a person, it would be Zack Snyder. And you see here, hot tips, Saudi Arabia close to deal to buy Warner Brothers, liked by Zack Snyder. And then Zack Snyder has already been involved with Saudi filmmakers. Now, a lot of people see this and they think this just got posted. Zack Snyder's doing a UFC movie with Dana White and some Saudi backers. And that has been in the works for months and months and months now. That's not a new thing, right? What they're teasing here with the great director, Zack Snyder, big surprise, all the world will talk about it. That has nothing to do with the Snyderverse. But you just can't get away from this rumor. I think it is fantasy land for it to all come together and happen like that. But one of the key pieces with all of this is that people were not blown away and people are not hyped for James Gunn's DC universe. That is just part of the reality, because if people were, this wouldn't be as big of a story as it is.
Correct. How crazy would that be if Saudi buys and owns that? I mean, would all the female superheroes wear, what do you call that thing down their head? Hijabs, whatever.
I think that's what the women wear.
Whatever. Yeah, would they make them wear? Would they make them wear that? Probably would be the end of any type of LGBTQ representation.
That's
in
the one.
Any of these films. Just throwing that out there.
Okay, that was not much, but first and foremost, shout out to them. Again, like I said, I think the problem is what happens, assuming if Saudi Arabia bought assuming the LGBTQ representation, it's gonna be threatened. And most importantly, in my opinion, just like in EA, these people, they will go on strike, folks. They will go on strike. They don't want to come to their work. What am I doing? Yeah, that is the one problem. Definitely cut that one out. Ooh, that was close. Okay. No, too close. Cannot. Not enough. Again, I think every LGBTQ employee who are working on these DC comics, they will be threatened, folks. Yes, they'll be threatened. Honestly, I don't know. Look, for the record, let me tell you in my perspective, okay? I really don't like companies or foreign companies buying these things. But you have to ask yourself this, which would be more better? Foreign companies buying... Sorry, I had to pause right there. Which one would be better? Foreign companies buying, say, Warner Bros. To make it better, or the current company to continue to do their slop, thus alienating every audience? Which would you prefer?
You. Oh, there you are.
Yes! Ooh, that hurts.
Has anyone seen the map? Come on! Someone must have seen where he went. Big scary man wears a cape, jumps out of the shadows and beats up useless thugs. Anyone? No? Good.
That's the young trucker.
Oh. Ooh. Oh, there is.
I took.
Okay. Now that is easy. Okay, now before we get to see this one and some cutscene, just remember, let me tell you this.
You try and get past me, Bats, and I will fry you!
Let's take it to a consumer perspective. Look, for me, I really don't like foreign companies to even buying Warner Bros. Or any entertainment industry. As a consumer, which would you prefer? Would you prefer your current company doing slop after slop also alienated your audience? Or would you have foreign companies like the Saudi buy it and make it better? Because we're already seeing SNK is doing better. Battlefield doing better because of the Saudi Arabian owning EA. Not sure about Mass Effect or Dragon Age. That remains to be seen. So remember, think about it in the consumer perspective, okay? Which would you prefer? A slop product or a good product? Okay? Boom.
Oh, there you are. I've been waiting for you, listening to Zaz make the good doctor scream while you played
Enjoy.
around in Scarecrow's world. How was it this time? Learn anything about yourself? Oh, tell me. Pull up a seat. Talk to me. I'm all ears. Actually, that reminds me. I could have sworn I heard Zaz cutting her ears off. Certainly sounded like it.
Stay where you are, Batman.
Listen to me carefully.